Hey everybody, we got my boy Angus here, third place at the Halifax Regionals. What do you got to say? We got any shout outs? How are you doing, Mike?
Good, yeah. I played branded Labrynth, I got third with it. Just a few shout outs real quick. Shout out for Team East Coast Games. We have a YouTube channel now where this is going to be posted along with Solemn Circus.
Legend.
There'll just be some more stuff up there, a lot of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. It's a good channel, so you can definitely watch it and look at it. Yeah, and then just shout outs to specifically, well, the team for testing, but Josh, Blake, and Dylan. They tested with me the most. Specifically, like, Josh really helped me with ratios a lot. Dylan, we tested, played a lot of matches. Yeah, apart from that, that's everything, so just get into the deck file.
Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah. Oh, I should have gotten first, but I misplayed in game 2. It is what it is. So we got third.
I'm a witness.
Alright. 3 branded fusion and 2 albaz. So this is like basically the only branded part apart from the extra deck in our deck. It helps you play around Ash, which is really nice. And also Kashtira is a really threatening deck for this deck. So you just want to be able to bring a Mirror Jade out that can deal with the Fenrir, and then after that you don't care about whatever they have to do.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Did you change the ratios at all today, or kept it the same?
So me and Blake went back and forth on Fallen Albaz. On 1 or 2. I like 2 for game 1. It almost always gets sided out. But like going first into most matchups, it's good to have a second one because you can just like dump it. And I'm a huge fan of Rinbrum. And there were games where if you open it and discard it with Chandelier or something like that, then you can just like have it in the grave with Rinbrum banish. You bounce your own Mirror Jade with your Big Welcome or something, and then you can just like make another Mirror Jade on your opponent's turn with an Albaz in your grave or something. So that was really cool. I only did it once today. I don't think it mattered. I just did it because it was cool. But yeah, so that's the branded stuff. It also has a bunch of other funny interactions. Like you can dump the furnitures for Albaz and some other stuff that I'll explain. For the Labrynth monsters, the big ones, 2 ladies, 1 lovely. This card sucks for draw, you never want to draw it. And this one you can just search. You don't want to draw multiples, you just play 2 because it's searchable. And you can like almost chain it every time. No complaints about these, I just wish I never drew this card. 3 Ariana, a lot of people play 2. They either don't know what the card does, or they just copy list and don't think about it. But you have to play 3 because it searches every single combo piece for your deck. It searches your trap, it searches your furniture, it searches everything. It's a really strong card. It also gets you a draw card, and also part of the draw is you can set a spell trap from your hand, which is really cool with Kuklok. Yeah, it's the best card in your deck.
So the combos with that in Kuklok are kind of insane if you play it correctly.
Then for the furniture, 3 Chandelure, whatever, 3 Stovey Torby, and 1 Kuklok. You just always search this, you don't want to actually really hard draw it that much. And then you just play 3 of each of these guys because they set your cards. Relevant thing with Branded Fusion, these are all dark, so you can kind of like toss, and then they can add each other back if you open the coinciding copy, which is really cool. There were a lot of times where I would use Branded Fusion, dump a Stovey Torby or Chandelure, bounce a card and then get it, or I'd open one of these, dump Kuklok, and then I'd be able to like chain these guys to add themselves back after, or sorry, not chain these, chain Kuklok after dumping it, and then use one of these to get it back to hand, and then use the trap I set that turn. So they actually synergize really well with the Albaz cards, which is cool. 1 Labrynth. This is for the mirror mainly. It also is just kind of a win more card, but just having it for the mirror is really important, and having it against like trap decks and stuff like that is just really good. For a lot of your bad matchups, having this in tandem with one of your welcome Labrynths is like really big and important, so that it's really good having that card.
How often did it come up today? A lot, or?
It came up only once. I didn't play a mirror, but this just gives you the edge of the mirror, and most of the time you always just side it out going second, so it's whatever. 3 big welcome. It's the best welcome in your deck because of its graveyard effect. I won a lot of games just because I had the graveyard effect to be able to do. Another cool thing is you can dodge Imperm and other things if you discard it with Stovey Torby and stuff and chain it to bounce your Ariana and things like that. So it's just a really useful card. 2 Welcome Labrynth. You don't want to play 3 because you don't ever really want to draw this one. This is just a bonus after you already get this one. and it just recursion, which is really nice. Most of the time, also going second, you'll side one of these out. For the normal trap cards, the Terror's Dogmatic of Punishment, self-explanatory. The best generic normal traps you can set with Lady and stuff. Game 1 going blind. And then 1 Eradicator. So this was for the mirror. It also was really, really strong against Kashtira. I didn't play either of the matchups today, so it was kind of dead most of the time. It was getting sided out. But really, really strong card in the mirror and stuff like that. And it's also good against Striker, which is probably this deck's worst matchup. So having this for the bad matchups is really good, and you don't have to choose to set it. So just having access to a game 1 is really big. 3 Prosperity. So Extravagance can't really be played in this deck. Like, you can, but I like having more utility in my extra deck that actually did come up. So just playing Prosperity. It also digs you deeper into your deck for side cards, which is nice. 3 Ash. 3 Imperm, self-explanatory cards, and then 1 Gamma, 1 Driver. So it did get hit to 1. This card's still fucking insane. In this deck, it's bonkers. You play it because, at worst case for you, it is literally just a discard, which is what you want sometimes. And at best, it can be a Baron, or it can be just cards to negate things.
How many times did you pitch? Did you pitch them off of the server?
I didn't see Gamma at all today. I saw Driver a few times, and I did pitch it, so that's good. Yeah, this card's just insane. I don't see why you wouldn't play it in this deck. Just having this sometimes wins you games, and people don't play around it at all anymore. And then just 2 Valor. So this was like Mourner or something else, but it's a light monster, and it's actually relevant in this deck because you can send it with Albaz if you don't want to send Driver or Gamma, and then banish it for Albion, which is really good. I'll go in the extra deck. 2 Mirror Jade, you have to play 2. If you're playing Extrav, obviously play 3. This helps you deal with a lot of cards in decks that you can't really deal with that well. It's also really good in the mirror. Been able to.
Come up today, or?
Sorry?
The second one come up at all today?
No, it only did once for the Rim Drum play, that was it. And that one didn't, I don't think it mattered for winning the game. Yeah, this just helps you deal with a lot of the problems that this deck faces. Being able to just have to back up your traps is just really nice, and it's also a big body. It's a dark that you can tribute for Eradicator, other viruses. It's just a really good card. Being able to send cards like Albion, Rinbrum, or this to the end phase with these 2 to get an additional card to discard is really relevant. Just overall, this card's just really good and kind of like the piece of the puzzle that was missing a bit. Then all the Albaz cards. You could play more, but these ones to me felt like the strongest. Obviously these 2 because you need them for the fusion effects. Albion also gets you your branded fusion, which is really nice. Rebellion, it's the most important one. It's for your furnitures. Brigand searches Albaz, so it can add to hand, which is really nice. And also, it's a level 8 or higher, so sometimes you can dump a big, if you want, like a big lady or whatever, to be able to summon this. It never really comes up, but it's relevant. This one you can never actually fusion summon, but its graveyard effect is really strong.
Sorry?
1 Entis punishment. For the rest of the punishment cards, just those. Lingeribo, because I don't want to get Ibleed. Muckracker, this one's really cool. There's some really cool interactions. I cut, for Lingeribo, I cut the Cerberus, Nightmare Cerberus, but I do still play Nightmare Phoenix, which is really cool. It's just important. For Gamma, Excel and Baron, I was playing Omega and the Cerberus, but I just wanted more value off my Gamma. And the last one, just Chaos Angel. The reason I kept this here is because you can summon Chaos Angel under this, banish a card, or banish a card, link, make Muckracker discard, summon this back, and you banish 2 cards, which is really cool. Yeah, Chaos Angel is just absurd in this deck. You only need 1 because you're playing Frost, so you just never banish it. Didn't summon either of these cards all day today, but they do come up, and they're 2 of outside of the branded cards, the most summonable cards in the deck. And then this side, mandatory cards. You have to play Bestials. They're good against the meta, but in this deck they're really absurd because Albaz is a dragon, so you can search it with Magnamut. And then also your big welcome and stuff, you can just bounce back Magnamut or Druis Worm to get additional cards, which is really nice. Yeah, apart from that, self-explanatory, really good. 3 Skill Drain. I'm playing a bunch of big bodies. I have my trap effects that still let me bounce. It's really cool. Summon Ariana, chain big welcome, bounce back the Ariana, get your search because it's activated on the field, but it doesn't resolve on the field. Yeah, this card works really well with this card, and I don't actually play a lot of floodgates, so I just needed something that was kind of a win button going first if you didn't have spell trap destruction. Normal trap, it wasn't in the main because I don't really respect branded.
Same, brother.
I played 2 branded today, and they were pretty good matchups when I was able to play. It's a strong matchup, but this is required sometimes in game 2 and 3. Being able to loop it with Lovely is really important. Yeah, it can be a scary deck, so that's why you play cards like this. Sword Soul's another deck. Decks like that where you just have a win button that you didn't have previously with other
cards too.
Yeah. 2 more Eradicator and Deck Devi. Just to draw it more, so I don't always have to set it. And then Deck Devi for Cyber stacks, just Sprite, stuff like that. And then 3 Nib. Honestly, probably gonna cut this card, but it's really it's cool because you can bounce it with Big Welcome back, other things like that. Paired with your other hand traps, it's really good. Yeah, that's it.
Justin.
Anything else you want to shout out?
No, that's kind of all right now.
All right, Angus. Thanks for being a beast. Shouts out to you and the rest of the team. And
Yeah.
that's all I got for today.